Hey everyone, Dan Monroe here. Dragonbrush Arts, Art of a Dragon. Hey, I've got a really good show today with part 2 of the interview with Wesley Eure, the actor and good friend of mine, an actor from The Land of the Lost, Days of Our Lives, so many other things. So you know what, we're going to get to that right after this. And so then how did you do Dragon Tales?
Well, I was producing and writing and starring in some of them, totally hidden video for Fox TV. It was a hidden camera, like candid camera. So I was one of the head writers. I was a producer, segment producer, and then I would cast myself in all the parts, like a waiter or severed head that came to life. And so it was the best job I ever had. In fact, I got 3 paychecks. And the best paycheck I got was as the actor. So I got residuals. So I had written a book called The Red Wings of Christmas. And it's a book that Disney bought for an animated feature. And I wrote the script. And Disney called me and wanted me to write the screenplay and the songs for Disney, which I did. But the producer, the executive producer of Totally Hidden Video was Jim Cohen. And Jim, after I finished doing the show, he moved over to Sony Pictures. He gave my book to his son, Max, who one of the main characters in Dragon Tales is named after. And it was Max's favorite kid's book. And so they found these dragon drawings at the Laguna Arts Festival in Laguna Beach. Ron Rudiker, who was this amazing artist, and he was a teacher. And they didn't look like the Dragon Tale drawings. They're very sophisticated, funny dragon drawings. And Jim called me and said, "Hey, look, would you come over to Sony? I've got these dragon drawings. PBS is looking for a new kids show. They're offering $16 million. And Sesame Street wants it, and the Muppets want it. Everybody wants $16 million in cash." So I came over, I looked at what they had, and I started creating characters and put it all together. And within 3 days, I wrote it, and within a week, we sold it to PBS.
Wow.
And we beat out everything. So.
And the rest, they say, is history.
Yeah, it was great. So it was a children's television workshop, produced it with Sony Pictures. So it was the Sesame Street people.
Oh my God! And
my favorite character was Zack and Wheezy, the 2-headed dragon, which is one of my creations.
Right.
And it was it was supposed to be Snarf and Booger, but needless to say, PBS said, "Nah, I don't think so."
Oh my God, that's.
But great. What I love, Daniel. I love kids, and I love. It seems like my whole career, except for Days of Our Lives, has been revolved about kids. From my kids' books to Land of the Lost to different shows, Nickelodeon that I work for, and I don't know. It just touches my heart so much, and I think it's because I'm like a Peter Pan that never grew up, and so I think I still feel like I'm an 8-year-old kid sometimes, and in fact, I'm accused of that a lot. My friends say, "Wesley, stand in the corner." But
well, Wesley,
but when I go to shows now, because we have the fans we do a lot of autograph shows. In fact, you and I have met there.
Yes.
And by the way, your artwork is spectacular. So I'm a huge fan too. So this is a really mutual admiration society here. You're an incredible artist. I've seen your books. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Thank you so much.
But I now have the older crowd from Land of the Lost, and of course the younger Land of the Lost fans because it's on like MeTV and stuff. But then I have Dragon Tales. Little kids will come up, or people, they're not kids anymore. The ones that started watching it because are in their 20s, and they come up and go, I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart."
Yes.
Which was so.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's kind of fun to be part of the pop culture lexicon.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? And that's exactly right. I mean, you can't think of our culture, our pop culture, without thinking of, the land of I'm serious. And I'm not just, making this up. This is serious. You can't think of it without the Land of the Lost, Dragon Tales, and Days of Our Lives being in there. I mean, they're all 3 of them are such heavy hitters in our pop culture,
Yeah. And the fact that Days of Our Lives is still on the air, just got picked up for 3 more years. It truly is the run that this show has had is unbelievable.
It is absolutely amazing. And, to think that you've been coming into people's living rooms for years and years and years and years, really. Sorry, so many years.
No,
I just thought of that.
I am 67. I'm 67 years old. I'm not 67? Yes, I'm 67 years old. So, I mean, I was born in 1951. I mean, the problem with Google and the internet is I can't lie anymore. Because trust me, in the past, I would have lied. Oh, I'm late 50s, Yeah, really, I'm so late 50s. And somebody turned the lights off. But, Google, there's no secrets anymore. It's there's a yin and yang to it, and it's a good and a bad to the internet, and sometimes the privacy issue is a little startling. So,
oh my God, absolutely right. But you were talking a little bit a minute ago about how you've never grown up and things like that. And and I think that so many of us that are in the creative fields, we all feel that way. I mean, I don't think that we could do what we do without if we grew up. Quite frankly, I mean, if we got up and grew old and our bones fused together and,
I agree.
It just wouldn't work.
Well, I mean, let's face it, you're a pirate.
Arr. So. I would be a pirate, mate. That's for sure.
And I got to tell you, I love your commercial, your costumes and the videos you do. I mean, they're extraordinary. Not to mention, of course, the artwork, and the animation, which is extraordinary too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'm hoping you and I are going to be able to work on a project together. That's what I'm hoping. So let's put that out in the ethers.
It's out there. It's out there. You
Okay.
heard it here first, everybody. It's out there. We're doing it.
I like that.
That's awesome.
I've got to tell you, that's when I do these, the Comic-Cons and stuff like that, they're extraordinary experiences. It's like having it's like going to summer camp because I usually take the girl that played Holly, which is Kathy Coleman, and Chaka, the monkey boy, which is Phil Paley, and we just did a show with the guy who played my dad, Spencer Milligan, played Rick Marshall. But it really is like it's like summer camp because we'll go there. We have the best seat in the house. We sit behind the table, and all the costume people, the cosplayers, and all the fans come up. But we get to sit next to our favorite stars too. Right. So it's like people that I never met, like. I sat next to Lou Ferrigno for 5 days at DragonCon once. The first 2 days, Lou didn't want anything to do with us. It was like, who are you? He didn't even know who we were. Who are you? But then we had huge lines and crowds coming to us. And he finally kind of looked over and goes, well, hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. I go, look, I've been sitting like this far from you for 5 days.
Right.
But Tony Dow, I was at a show at Chiller. And with Tony Dow, Leave It to Beaver, and Jerry Mathers, and I'm eating breakfast with Kathy Coleman, and I was sitting there, and suddenly a girl is pulling food off of Kathy's plate, standing up there eating bacon. I look up, and Tony Dow is standing next to her, and it's his wife. And it's like, and he goes, Wesley, you look good. I go, you're Tony Dow. I go, I'm such a fan. But it really is. I mean, it's like for us, I know that everybody was hanging out with Todd Bridges. The other day at a convention, and he was just a hoot and having so much fun. So there's a whole kind of not only is it the culture of the Comic-Cons, but it's that sort of backstage thing, which is just extraordinary. Because I feel about it, I am the luckiest guy to have. Listen, I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but raised in Hattiesburg. My family wasn't in the show business. I was just a kid from the South, and to have this kind of experience in life and this access to people that I am such a huge fan of.
Right.
It's been extraordinary, and I don't take it for granted one iota.
And I'm exactly like that as well. When we go to these Comic-Cons, and you're exactly right. I mean, it is just like you're in summer camp, like you're a kid again, and everybody's there, and you kind of, come in with your bags in your hands, and you kind of look around and say, what's going on, and when you start seeing the people roll in, and you're like, the cool kids are, the cool kids are coming in, and you start hanging out. It's amazing to me because, I was born in Jackson, Michigan, but I was raised here in Kalamazoo, in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. And, for a kid like me, to be able to, number one, get paid to go to Comic-Cons. I mean, But and number two, to be able to sit next to people and like you say, just have the camaraderie, and when you're having lunch with like people like Kevin Sorbo, like, and I could just walk up to these people and say, hey, here's some artwork I did, oh yeah, I like that, Dan, that's awesome. You know what? Let's work together on something, and it's just an amazing, amazing thing.
I have met. I mean, we do the Hollywood show sometimes, and we're not talking. There's different calibers of stars. I mean, Land of the Lost is, we're kind of we're more of a B rated. We're Saturday morning and stuff, even though it's a big cult show. But we're one day Dick Van Dyke walks by our table, and he stops and he sings the theme song to Land of the Lost with us. Oh my God! I mean, somebody videoed it. It's someplace out there in ethers, but it's. Those kind of moments in life are just, I mean, I was speechless. I just said, I think I got on my hands and knees and was bowing. But, Anne Margaret. We did a show, Anne Margaret. Listen, I got to tell you, when Bye Bye Birdie came out, first of all, anybody who knows Bye Bye Birdie, you're old. You're old. You are very, very, very old. So, but she came out, was when they introduced her, and this sexy girl, I could not take my eyes off the screen. And there I am, with Anne Margaret. Those are the kind of experiences that are just amazing. And sometimes, it's not about the money, it's I mean, sometimes it's about the money.
It's a little bit about the money, yeah.
It's a little bit. But I got to tell you, more than not, it is that, I don't even know if that makes sense or not, but more than not? Is that a double negative? More than not, and it really is about the experience, and I talk to Kathy all the time, Holly, and Phil Paley-Chaka, and we talk all the time. We're like best friends, and we can't wait to see each other. I have always said that the Sid Marty Krofft who produced our show, I said they didn't just cast my TV family, but they cast my real family. Right. And it's because that's the odd circumstances of us working together has created a lifelong love that is truly like brothers and sisters. So it's extraordinary.
See, that's absolutely amazing too. I mean,
and not all casts are like that. Some casts hate each other. Some casts won't even sit next to each other. I have stories I'd have to kill you if I had to tell you, because I'm sworn to secrecy. But I know famous mega primetime shows where the cast members refuse. It's in their contract where they don't sit next to each other.
Oh my goodness!
It's crazy, yeah. Oh, the drama.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is. But you know what? Your chemistry, you're such a likable guy anyway. I mean, your chemistry is just that. Wow, yeah, right there on the chin, buddy. But the chemistry
it's the game show host in me. It's from Finders Keepers.
That's
it. Yeah,
That's it right there. Oh my goodness. Well, what are you doing these days besides walking around in Mexico on the beach, picking up mangoes?
My life is so difficult. I live in Mexico about 6 months a year, and I've done a couple of movies recently. Did one with William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd and Gene Smart called Senior Moment, which hopefully will be out. And I've got a couple of shows in development, new shows, a reality show, and a new kids show that we are working on, which is going to be, I think, extraordinary. But I still act. I did a play in Tampa, Florida this last year. I still dabble. It's fun. I think I would. If I didn't dabble, I think I'd die. And there's so much theater here in Palm Springs. I live in Palm Springs half of the year, and Puerto Vallarta the rest. But there's so much theater. I keep getting asked. People say, "Will you come to a show here? Will you come to a show here?" And just haven't found the right thing that I wanted to do yet. But maybe.
Right. And I do see you're traveling around doing all the Comic Cons all over the place. I know you're coming up to Chicago. What, in December?
Chicago is, yes.
Yep.
We have 8 booked already this year.
Wow.
8.
Wow.
That is like an embarrassment. And everywhere from Philadelphia to Florida.
Right.
But Chicago is going to be, I think, December the 1st and 2nd, I believe, up in the Chicago area. It's Chicago Pop Culture Con.
Chicago.
So just be Kathy and I, Holly and I, and we bring a yellow raft.
Yes.
I'm not sure we'll bring a yellow raft here. We bring this yellow raft. I'm not sure we're going to bring the yellow raft to the show because it's a lot to lug, but I'll try. But we bring, like in the opening of Land of the Lost, we go over a waterfall, 1,000-foot waterfall,
Right.
1,000 feet below, to the land. So we bring this yellow raft with the oars. We put yellow life jackets in, and fans hop in the yellow raft with us, and we do photos and stuff like that. So, because it's we don't want to just sit behind a table and just have some people come up and here buy an autograph. We want to give an experience. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money, and money's tough to come by, and if people are going to give us any money, it's nice that we create an experience for our fans because it's as much fun for us as it is for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully everybody will come out to Chicago and see us, which would be great.
Absolutely. I'm coming, and you know what? I'll bring my own raft. So that way, if you don't have one, I'll have one with me. How's that?
I can just yours will be about this big from the bathtub. I know. Oh yeah, I know you. You'll try to slip out of it some way. I can tell.
Oh my goodness,
Wesley! Look, I brought the raft. Oh look!
Too much.
It's so weird because the camera lens is here, but my picture's up here. So if I look weird in this thing, oh well, who cares?
I know. You know what? The same thing with me because you can't even see me on camera because we discussed that. So.
You've never looked so young, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate.
Well, you're
that.
welcome. You're just a
But yeah, I'm looking at you right here, and when I go to air this, I'll be able to point this out, but. I'm looking at you straight ahead, but yet my camera is off to the side a little bit. So
right, and I'm looking. See, if I'm looking at the tiny hole here, that's the camera. But what I'm seeing is over here. So anyway, listen, Daniel, I'm schizophrenic enough. So this.
Oh my goodness! Too funny.
I'm excited about this show. About you doing this. This is pretty amazing. This is quite a. How did this all start?
Well, now you're going to interview me now, huh? Well,
I'm a game show host, man. Hey, deal with the pro here. So,
right, exactly right.
No, but how did this all start? What was the impetus for this?
Well, we have, up here we have PMN, which is our public media network, and it's our local public media network. It's just the public TV station. And about a year ago, a buddy of mine came over and he said, "You know what, Dan?" He said, and he saw some of my Evil Dragonfire Theater videos that I did years ago, about 10 or 15 years ago. And he said, "You know what, Dan?" He said, "You need to start doing those again, because they're so funny and everything. They're on YouTube." And I said, he talked me into it. I said, "You know what? I think I will." Now, this time around, I have a little bit of money behind me, so I'll put some money into it, and make a nice, good costume and everything, And, because before, it's so funny, my wife came home from work one day, and I have green screens all over the walls everywhere, and I'm dressed in this old, it's not even a pirate costume, it's like a foam pirate hat and a really bad wig, and just an oversized red coat, and a plastic sword, and she walks in, and I'm like, acting and things, and she gives me that look, and of course at that time we'd been married about 15 years, so she knew what to expect. But it is, I did kind of look at her and say, "You know what, this isn't the worst thing you've walked in on me doing," so. Right. Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh. But okay, so where did the pirate character come from in your life? I mean, did it come from your childhood? Does it come from what inspired you? Why a pirate?
Well, because he pirates things off the internet. Basically, is the idea behind that? Yes. He is a character that was created, in my mind anyway. The backstory is he was created for the Mortal Kombat game. If everybody knows Mortal Kombat. For the video games, and he was a character that was left behind. He wasn't used, and he woke up in the netherworld, as we say, in the cyber world of the internet, and he is alive, and he's conscious, and he knows he's there, and he knows he's a pirate, and he knows he was left behind, so he's little upset about that, but he also realized that he can go out and have adventures and have some fun. So that's what we're doing with Captain Wallace there.
That's true. I like that. That's nice. To know the backstory, really, that adds some volume to the process and to the character, which I like.
Right. And right now it is a process. I'm still developing. I'm still, of course, when people see all the animation work and everything, I mean, I do every bit of that. So I'm a one-man show. I'm doing it all myself. So it does take a long time.
Sometimes that's better, though, because you're not relying on other people to deliver for you. If you have the skills, listen, one of the skills I don't have is I don't know how to draw. I can write books, I can create shows, I can act, whatever. Well, some people say that can. But to have that skill and the artistry is and your work is, as I've said, I'm not just blowing smoke. Well, a little bit. But no, I mean, to have that kind of a skill, but then to be able to animate and to do underwriting and all of that stuff, the performance, to have that kind of quadruple threat is really amazing. And the fact that you're not reliant on somebody else to deliver something to you, you can just go and do it yourself. It's extraordinary. You're a very fortunate man.
I appreciate that so much. I've always been one of those kind of guys that I always felt that I was pretty audacious. But if something's not happening for me, I'm going to go out and make it happen. So I've kind of always been that way,
Yeah. It's just that I wish you didn't have people walk the plank. That's the only thing, you just have to, come on.
Right,
People can't always rise to your level.
Right, exactly. Well, give me the pirate in me, mate. Gots to do what I gots to do.
Daniel, when I was a kid, my favorite musical, and from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, was Peter Pan with Mary Martin. It was Peter Pan.
Right.
And I listened to that LP, that long playing record. Well, no, if you know that, you're young and hip. So I got to take that off back. Since it's coming back, vinyl's back. Right. But I used to play that and sing that, and when I was 5 years old, and of course there's Captain Hook,
right,
the villain, and so I get the connection that I've had pirates in my life since I was a kid.
Right,
so
right, yeah.
I respond. I like it a lot. The character's great.
Thank you so much. Well, you know what, Wesley, I'm going to let you off the hook. I think that right,
Captain.
Arr, mate.
To the ship, 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 to the ship. Oh, my mysterious lady, what is your name? Peter Pan. Never met.
I got me swords on the wall behind me back there. People can see them. The Captain Wallace sword back there. So I was about to take that down and start playing with it up here.
Nice. Very nice.
Fiddle me cutlass, all that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness.
Very, very fun.
Well, Wesley, again, my friend, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy, busy schedule to come on and talk to me for a few minutes and let my viewers, both of them know that you're around and what we're doing.
Still alive.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And we are working on.
Well, I appreciate it, Daniel. I really appreciate being a guest on your show. I am such a fan of yours, and it's an honor to be here, to be honest.
Well, it's a triple honor for me, I got to tell you, because I've been a fan of yours for many, many years. You just have no idea, really. You really don't even know, my friend.
Thanks.
So.
If you're listening out there, he's blowing smoke, okay? Just one. Yeah, it's just...
No, I'm not. Not at all.
And for people out there, we really know each other, and we have talked, and we've become friends, and we've met at shows, and exchanging a lot of creative ideas at the moment, and so this is a real friendship.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll close with the Land of the Lost closing song.
Do that.
Ready?
Do that.
When I look all around, I can't believe the things I've found. Now I need to find my way. I'm lost. Find me living in the land of the lost. Living in the land of the lost. Boom.
Oh, Wesley, that was absolutely wonderful. I loved it, man. You not only sang to us once, but you sang to us twice, and that was absolutely wonderful.
Well, I had to because Captain Wallace, you said I would have to walk the plank if I didn't perform. So aye, Captain.
Arr, mate, you did a fine job.
Well, shiver me timbers, and thank you for having me.
Anytime there, mate. Anytime. Oh, my God. Well, you know what, Wesley? I could absolutely talk to you all day and all night. I mean, you're such a joy, and I just love talking to you so much. And thank you so much for stopping by and talking to me and the people that are watching. Is there anything else that you want to put out there? You want to tell us about? You want to tell us where we can find you out there in the ether world and what's going on?
You can find me at wesleyeure.com or on Facebook. And, we've got a lot of shows coming up, autograph shows all around the country. So if you're in the area of any of our shows, please come by and say hello and get in our yellow raft and we'll take a photo.
Just awesome. Awesome. Again, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Captain.
Bye, Wesley. Hey, everybody. Hope you really enjoyed the show. How great was that part 2 of the interview with Wesley Eure? Just a really good friend of mine. We're working on some future projects that I really can't talk about right at the moment, but it does involve a TV show for kids and things like that. So, kind of letting the cat out of the bag there a little bit. But, if you enjoy the content that I'm making for you, please do me a favor and email me and let me know. And my email is right there. Alright, so do me a favor, shoot me an email. And you know what? Since I'm a children's book illustrator, among many other things, what I usually say, when people ask me, they say, Dan, what type of an artist are you? What do you do? And I usually say, whatever you think an artist can do, that's what I do. But what I want to do is I want to show artwork from kids on my show here. So if you have a child that loves to draw, and what child doesn't, them draw a picture of a pirate, of Captain Wallace, of a dinosaur, since today's theme was kind of a dinosaur theme with Wesley Eure and everything. And, just have them send it in, or you can actually email it in to me. And all it has to do is just in a JPEG or a PDF file, and you can just email it directly to me. And I'll show it right here on the show. All right? So, until next time, everybody, be good at it, and remain true to yourself always.